This week we are working on small projects that will make our life much comfortable while we wait for the building permit to restore the 300-year-old stone house. Follow our journey with us as we documented the whole process of restoring the finca and the stone house, debt-free. My name is Ricardo Santos. You are watching Eridu Life. Since we brought the caravan to the finca, we've been having problems with the power and the battery. So I'm adapting the caravan to be used as a solar power to charge the batteries. And the task of today is to convert this old ladder into a solar panel standing. So gloves is a must. With a little bit of fixing and creativity, I think this small ladder is gonna be very nice as a solar panel standing. Just cleaning all the bushes around so the sun heat the whole solar panel. That way I can charge the battery fully and we can restore the power on the caravan. Now the battery is fully charging. I don't think we're gonna have problem anymore. I think this project turns out quite nicely. One of the main issues in this project always has been water. I researched a best way to build a water system cheap, and on that research I decided to use IBCs. I purchased a couple of IBCs. The problem is they came dirt. These are food grade and they've been used to transport vegetable oil before. And what I'm doing here, I'm trying to drain that vegetable oil so I can start a process of pre-washing and after fully washing. I'm using a product which is food grade, which is a degreaser. I put this product inside and I'm moving the IBC from one side to the other side so it can work its magic and dissolve all the oil that is on the IBC. Last time I used this degreaser, I was kind of skeptical to using that, and I put just tiny bits of it. Oh boy, it took ages to clean. One day put a little bit with water, another day wash it, the follow day you dilute a little bit of water, and so on and so forth. It took forever. Here I dropped the whole damn thing on it, and now I am taking the first kind of rinse of that nasty stuff. It looks clean already. Don't even smelling the oil anymore. Now that the pre-washed IBC is kind of on the way to be cleaned, I will take it down to the village so I can give it a good wash and start to use it to transport water. With this machine here, I can use 20 cents, will give me 100 liters of water. The only problem washing this way, the water does not have pressure. So I need to waste a lot of water for making the IBC clean. It's a quite difficult process. But after many washes, the IBC is now clean and ready to start transporting water. I'm loading around 500 liters of water that I'm going to be using in the finca on the coming weeks. With the trailer, life becomes much easier. There is always a time for a good coffee, don't you think?
Cheers.
Because I don't have a water pump yet, I've been transferring this water by hand. It is a very tiring process. I'm using the 25 liters containers to transfer the water.
Taking a little break here, filling up all at once here, because my god man, it's 500 liters of water on trips of 25 liters. You make the calculation how many trips I done or I'm gonna be doing.
By this time I am so tired that I start to do some mistakes. First, I didn't raise the leg from the trailer. Second, I did not apply the handbrake, so the car started to move on. This time here, the IBC still got more than 100 liters of water. It was very heavy. It's about 100 kilos, so I was moving very slow. On the end of the day, it was very tiring process. We got supplies sorted out and we're good to go. I brought some supplies and materials with me. I'm going to start to tackling on the water system. The water system that's going to be by that big pine tree over there. I'm going to go to my neighbors to get some IBCs, and I got news from the architect. Next week he's going to present me his first idea of the rehabilitation project. I'm very excited about that. It is spring and everything starts to flowering. The first time I used these pipes for water, I was not familiar with this kind of work, and it was very difficult. My neighbor David gave me good advice to stretch it and leave it for a couple of days before you use it. That way the pipes stay as much as possible on a straight line. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm preparing the pipes to use for
food.
the future upgrade of the water system. What I'm doing here, I'm tidying the pipe into this piece of wood that I stick in the ground, and I'm unrolling the pipe to make it a straight line. I'm using some stones to keep the pipe as straight as possible, and I'm gonna leave like that for a couple of days. The pipes being laid down there for a couple of days. I think they straight now. I'm gonna be adding some outlets where the water is gonna be, some faucets. And I need a piece of timber where the stands is gonna be. I think I saw some fallen pine trees on the other side, the small ones. I'm after those trees there. There are so many fallen trees. I'm going to start to use most of these fallen trees on the project in the finca. That way I start to clearing the land and also repurposing all this wood that is there and minimizing the risk of fire in the land. I am cleaning as much as possible, taking out some of the branches and leaving the piece of tree as clean as possible. This will work nicely on the outlets for the expansion or the upgrade of the water system. As I'm trying to make life more comfortable at the finca, I'm starting to building an outdoor tarp to use as a sort of veranda outside the caravan. This will be very helpful, especially when it rains. I have no experience in this sort of building, so I'm relying on tutorials and I'm taking my time to do these projects. Straighten it tight. The way I hook this thing up, it does not force the tarp, because I use a little piece of stick like that. I put from the top, and then what holds the tarp is really the rope, not the tarp itself.
have a problem here. The top slide this way.
These are the kind of small projects that's gonna give a big comfort. It did took more time than I anticipated. It is not perfected, but it is functional. I think it serves the purpose. Right now it starts raining and I'm here drinking a coffee and dry from the rain. One project that I've been postponing for a while is the pruning of the trees and the cleaning of the terraces. Now that I built the small outdoor veranda for the caravan, I start to clearing this terrace where I'm using the most. This way I can keep the things clean, tidy. What is under these trees is this stuff here. I don't know if the camera can pick it up, but it's thorns. So far, this is the best way I found to tackle this so-called wild asparagus. I go by hand to around the tree, chop them off, bring them to a site, take out the big branches of it. The machine is too weak for cutting something with thicker than 8-10 millimeters. And then I'm going around kind of shred them as much as possible and I leave in the ground. Sooner or later they will rot and become natural compost. That's the way I'm doing it. If you guys out there know a better way to deal with this stuff, so leave in the comments so I can start to practice on the other trees and the other terraces. I think it turns out quite nicely. I can walk under the tree now. Another project that I took a while to start is to start and cut the bigger branches that I cannot cut on the bush trimmer, and these bigger branches I'm going to be using for future wood for the wood burning stove. So I'm starting to save some wood for fire in the future once the stone house is restored. I'm doing an experiment here. I'm trying to save in this olive tree. It was broken on the corner there, loose, and didn't grow, but would start sprouting. So I'm gonna put in the ground, looking after, and I hope you grow. What do you think? You grow? Leave in the comments below. In a couple of years, I'll come back and do an update on that tree. If you are enjoying this content and would like to follow our journey, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you can be notified by YouTube every time I post a new video. Yeah, let's see. You take a lot of sun. Hopefully it will make it. I went to my neighbor David to collect these two IBCs. I'm gonna be using it on the expansion or upgrade of the water system. This is gonna serve very well into the future on the water management in the finca. They are very dirty though. They need a lot of work in cleaning, washing before I'll be able to use it for storing drinking water. For now, I'm gonna leave the IBCs where they are here because it's a little bit of logistics to get them ready. I need to clean and wash it. For doing that, I need to take them to the village, do the same way as I do. On this one, I can do that, not on that one and not on the other one I got on the back. They're too dirty to get there. So the solution is get a jet pressure washer, take one of the IBCs which is ready on the platform on the top there, move that IBC to the new platform is going to be here, go to the village, pick up 1,000 liters of water, which I can do in 2 trips with the car, and then I can have enough water to wash that IBC on site here and the other one. So that's probably what I'm gonna be doing it. Or a storm, lightning, thunderbolts, and everything. The storm was so great last night that damaged the tarp. I need to do this repair before it rips apart because it's a good tarp. I bought this kit of Amazon and I'm gonna do some repair here with some good old duct tape. I suppose if I haven't done a preventive job thinking before it happens, it wouldn't happen. If you know the outcome, what's the point? If you know that it's gonna rain tomorrow, you go out of the house without the umbrella. And then life becomes predictable. Heavy duty duct tape, it does the job very well. As good as new. Look at these colors. Wow. Beautiful. Sunrises remind me of my driving job in UK. I start work night, and then when sunrise is coming like that, I'm usually on M1 South, going back to Park Royal in London, That's what I was working Royal Mail, and every morning it was like the sunrise over the London. It's gonna be a great day. Look at these colors in the sky. The sun hitting the mountain in the back there. It's nothing in this world is compared to the nature, especially on a day starting like that, the beautiful sunrise. Something magical that happens every day. People take it for granted, and I enjoy it. It's very powerful. If you study the ancient traditions, it doesn't matter who it is, the Akkadians, the Sumerians, the Egyptians, the South Americans, Peru, the Inca, the Aztecs, the Mayans in Mexico, whatever it is, they did not worship any physical looking god. They worship the sun god. And for them was sacred, like the night got all this, as the witch say on Game of Thrones, the night is dark and full of terror, and then comes the sun in the morning and brings light, brings life, brings the warmth, and so people worship that. And Anu was the name of the sun in Sumerian tradition. And I appreciate the sun every single day. I thank the sun. Do you? You take a little time to wake up before everyone else and go watch the sunrise? If not, does at least once a week. You see how that things is gonna change for you in your life when you start doing that. Let's start the day.